So this podcast episode was edited by AI. Same with the 10 shorts with animated captions that came out of it. And the title, the description, the posting schedule, everything. I recorded the multicam podcast, pressed a couple buttons, and walked away. And when I came back, the episode was live on YouTube with a week of shorts queued up. So today, I'm gonna run the whole thing live, show you how it works. And the skill that does all of this is down in the descriptions for free. Feel free to copy it and run it on your own podcast. So everything you're about to see runs through one skill, which is basically a plain language document of instructions rewrote. Let me just quickly run through what it actually does. First thing, once you point Claude to where your video project is, it brings the footage in and syncs it, takes all of the camera angles and the audio, and lines everything up frame accurately, which if you've ever done that manually, you just know how painful that process is. Then the main edit. This is a full-length episode, so it's switching between the cameras based on who's talking, cutting the dead air, the false starts, the crosstalk, basically everything you'd normally spend your evening on. Then it takes that finished episode and cuts 10 shorts from it. Then every short gets animated captions and gets rendered vertical, ready to post. The editing itself isn't happening through Claude, and I'll be honest about why. I've actually tried doing this with just Claude and Kimi and codecs and everything, and big multicam is not something that it handles well on its own, no matter how intelligent it is on the benchmark. One, it struggles to sync multicam, and the bigger issue is you won't know it failed to sync until it's already exported your hour-long video. So now, you're re-exporting everything from the exact beginning. Two, the cuts come out unnatural. It will cut before a word is even finished because the transcription it's working from just isn't accurate enough. And three, the camera switching. It either bounces back and forth way too fast, or it gets it completely wrong, or it just never uses the wide shot. So that's why I'm using Selects here. It's the only AI editor in the market that actually looks at the footage and understands it thoroughly. So instead of just cutting to whoever's talking, it catches reaction shots and it times the cuts to the rhythm of the conversation. You get the most natural cuts without writing any code or dealing with APIs. And if you want to finish the edit yourself, it hands you a Premiere, DaVinci, or Final Cut file to keep working in. And I should note, none of this is code. The whole skill is instructions in plain language, so when you copy it and want it to behave differently, you can just change the document. If you want 7 shorts instead of 10, or you want them posting at a different time, that's you changing a sentence. And then, once everything's edited, the skill automates the whole publishing side. It posts and schedules the episode and the shorts, and it writes the descriptions, the titles, all of that. One honest note though, the export step is the one thing that can still be manual because the MCP doesn't handle export yet. So when the edit's done, you might be the one pressing the export button in Selects, which means realistically the whole run is one message, one approval, and one button. Okay, so let me just run the whole thing from zero. First a setup, because it's genuinely 3 steps. You can download Selects from the link below. Then, in Selects, go to the profile picture on the top right, press Connect MCP, and since we're doing it with the Claude desktop app, we click Claude desktop app, and mine's already connected now. That's basically everything. And then, you grab the skill file from the description. I'm gonna drop this folder straight to Claude, and then say, hey, Claude, this is the skill we'll be using for video editing with Selects MCP. You don't even have to be this accurate since the skill contains every information that's needed, but we just want it to be extra thorough. And as you can see, Claude has been reading the Selects MCP and tried figuring out the dependency. We can see that we have to log into the browser and the job storage, which I'm going to do right now. And then I also directed Claude to store it inside my SSD since I don't have much space in my local storage yet. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop this entire footage straight into Selects MCP. As you can see, there are 5 cams and 3 audio. So what we can do is drop in the entire folder into Selects MCP and then tell the Selects MCP to do everything based on the skill. So I'm gonna say, hey, let's start editing and uploading this project based on the skill I gave you. So now Selects MCP will be starting investigating the file format and the folder structure and the timecode, waveform, and everything to sync it properly. So most of the AI editors in the market, they run speech to text and edit only with the text information. However, as you can see in the analysis page, Selects actually finds the key visual moments while transcribing to actually understand the entire video. It seems that the project creation step is now done. There's a text-based editor on the right where you can drag the parts you want to edit and then either drop or manually delete. There's a topic on the left where you can also drag and drop or press to manually watch that certain chapter or subchapter. But now, since MCP is going to handle everything, I'm just going to tell it to do as the skill told it to do, continue. Now the long form edit just started, so let's see how it goes. And as I mentioned before, we have to do the exports by hand. So we're gonna review the draft just in case. All 10 shorts are close to the 1 minute time limit. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna export the entire video. All right, now the export is done. So what we're gonna do now is tell the Claude that we exported the whole videos, and then it's gonna add the graphics and do the reframing and upload to our YouTube channel. Hey Claude, exporting now done in this folder. So now continue with the shorts, graphics, and YouTube upload part. So now, as you can see, Claude is going to make the layout into vertical and then add the karaoke style captions and then do the YouTube scheduling part. From here, we don't have to do anything except for confirming the final part. So all we have to do is sit and wait. All right, so as you can see, the reframing is now complete. Claude baked in all the visuals and reframes. And what it's doing is taking a screenshot and then examining if it actually fit the skill's intent. And it looks like it did. So what we're gonna do now is, since we have the videos right here, we're gonna drag and drop and then tell Selects MCP to plan the upload. Great, so Claude just figured out what my time is, and then it set a sufficient time gap between the shorts so that it can aggregate more views. And as I indicated in the skill, long form goes 2 hours before the first short and 2 shorts per day, 8 hours apart. It also wrote the description by itself. So basically Claude is pulling all of that from the actual transcript, so it matches the context there. Great, so now the upload is all done. As you can see, the long form scheduled in tomorrow, and for the shorts too, they're all scheduled accordingly as I indicated in the skill. So this one episode just covered the next 5 days of posting. So quick math on that run. I recorded that for about an hour, and out of that came 11 pieces of content. The full episode, live with the entire description, plus 10 shorts, which covers 5 days of posting. So yeah, the files in the description is free. And honestly, if there's some part of video workflow you wish worked like this, editing, clipping, publishing, whatever that is, just drop it in the comments. We're more than happy to take a look, and stuff from the comments genuinely ends up being what we build next. Skill file and the Selects link are down below. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.